Hi everybody, it's Louisa and I am coming to you live from Seville, Spain with my good friends Luis and Montse, and together we're going to make some yummy food today. I was a student here in 1984-85. Luis was my favorite teacher, of course, right? And I was your favorite student?
Yes.
That was a little hesitation.
Oh, I didn't expect. Yes.
Yes, of course. So tonight we're going to make a tortilla de Espanola, tortilla de Espanola,
Española de patatas.
and some spinach with garbanzo beans, which is another very popular tapas. And yesterday, interestingly, was the International Day of the Tortilla, correct?
Tortilla de patatas.
Tortilla de Patatas. And the other thing that you should know is there is a big conflict in Spain about whether you use onions or not.
In the world.
In the world. In the world, it's a big conflict and it's very political, very serious. But we are going to be using onions tonight, so
Actually,
that's okay.
We prefer to use onions, but the best tortilla in the world is in Galicia and is without onions. ¿Cómo se llama?
In a town called Betanzos.
Betanzos. So if you ever go to Galicia, northwest Spain, go see St. James and eat a tortilla de Betanzos. Okay, we're going to start. We'll start with the potatoes. We have a lot of oil here. We don't cut the potato, we tear the potato, kind of, we break it. Because we prefer it to, if you cut it, you kind of seal it, and you don't want to do that.
So you're letting out some of the starches?
Yes.
So what they were doing is they cut a little bit and then kind of snap off the side of it. And that is probably at least a cup of oil, maybe a cup and a half of oil.
Yeah.
And we got this just the other day from this town of
Baena,
Baena,
in the province of Córdoba.
and that is the best olives and olive oil, right, in Spain?
Maybe in the world.
Or so they say.
Now we're gonna blanquear the spinach.
That means
Yes.
blanch.
Yeah.
Blanching. I have to look over your shoulder because I've not done this. And this is fresh spinach. These are huge leaves, but you probably use regular, like the spinach that we usually get, which is a little smaller.
Yeah. I mean, these are fresh, but you can also use them
Like
frozen. Oh, let me get one of these.
And so we've been eating a lot of tapas here. And basically, you can eat almost anything as a tapa. It doesn't have to be something specific. It's just a small portion, really. There are some things that are more famous as tapas, but, like olives or fried fresh anchovies, not the salty canned ones, but fresh anchovies. We've been eating a lot of, yesterday we had octopus that was amazing. What else do you like for tapas?
Ensaladilla rusa.
Russian potato salad.
Now we're going to have to change the name of ensaladilla rusa to, I don't
we'll
know,
call it
potato salad.
Ukrainian
salad, yeah. And, you can have croquetas.
Croquettes.
You can have dogfish marinated that we call adobado and adobo. Catfish, that is, we're in Lent, so a lot of catfish is served in Spain, in always with garbanzo beans, fried, with tomato. Probably the three most typical ways of eating catfish during Lent is with garbanzos, with tomatoes, or fried, deep fried, breaded or butter more than, either butter or with flour only.
Yeah. We had some the other day. It was really lightly floured, and it was just absolutely delicious. With little aioli You guys have to watch what you
Then
do.
squid
Squid,
or
of
chipirones,
course.
a little squid grilled with alioli also.
Yeah, oh, those are delicious.
Paella también.
Paella, claro. And the true traditional paella is with rabbit
And snails.
and snails.
Really, paella, it's obviously from the eastern coast of Spain, Valencia, Alicante, Murcia, and the name paella comes from the skillet, like olla, it's a stew, but the name we use is like a pot. Entonces, paella was made in the country, in the fields, using wood of orange trees. And then once the flames were gone and you have the ember, that's when you put the paella that is flat and big, no big enough. And then use any vegetables you can get in the huerta in Valencia. Really, seafood was more of an addition for tourists, probably.
Really? That's
Yes.
interesting. I'm just gonna eat olives. That's so good. Okay, so what are we looking for with the potatoes?
Well,
they
they have to
frying
be
a little
soft, and then we have to remove all the oil,
Mm-hmm.
which is very important because otherwise the tortilla will get too heavy.
Too wet.
Now, once you have the potatoes halfway, that's when we add the onions. But some
Okay.
people add or cook the onions before the potatoes and then add the potatoes when the oil has part of the taste.
And the potatoes are browning a little bit, that's okay?
Yes, you have to make sure that they don't burn,
Okay.
so it's good to.
But it's okay if they're getting a little bit
Yeah.
crispy.
Yeah.
So that was 3 good-sized potatoes.
It's almost a kilogram, like 2 pounds.
So
probably.
almost 2 pounds of potatoes, and that was like 1.5 medium onions.
Yeah. It
And
depends
probably-
also on how much onion you like
Right.
in your tortilla.
So you can just make it to taste.
Yeah.
And the key is, I mean, with so many things, as we always say, make it, see how you like it, make it according to the recipe, see how you like it, and then make whatever changes you want to make. Add more onion, add less onion. You can add fish, right, to it.
Yeah.
Never, ever boil the potatoes.
Never.
Never. Or you'll get in big trouble from Louisa and Monse. Is there anything else I'm supposed to say that I forgot to say?
I don't know.
I think the spinach are fine now because we're gonna cook them later a little bit more, so you don't want to overcook them.
So we're just gonna drain them?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're gonna save a little bit of the water.
Did you remember to save some water? Yes, in the pan. So that's just drained right into another pan.
Yeah, but because we want to
We
get,
want some of the water.
because we want to get some of the water, to save some of the water, so to mix with all the ingredients. Now we're gonna start.
We're not laughing at you, Louise.
Oh, it's okay.
Let me see.
Let the chef,
It's
let the
okay.
chef- is it okay?
We're gonna start
No,
with.
no tenemos duda.
So we're gonna put some.
No la machacas, Luis.
Están machacados.
Bueno, ya está.
So the oil is
Las espinacas.
just starting to come up to heat.
And that's garlic.
So and that is garlic, and those are gonna get mashed as they soften?
Yeah. We're gonna mix it with a mixer later, so you know,
Okay.
just.
So we're
you
just
want
gonna
them
cook
to-
them a little bit to
Yeah.
soften them up. And we don't want to brown them too much because they'll get
No.
bitter. And this is the tortilla, and this is gonna do the espinacas, or spinach with garbanzos.
¿Estaría puesto bien?
And so you're kind of flavoring the oil as
Yeah.
much as anything, right? ¿Está bien?
¿Te están dando un poquito para el trabajo o no?
¿Las patatas?
Sí.
Sí.
Es que no les dejaba tiempo para...
Es que no quería que se pegaran.
No, ya, pero...
We're gonna have such a good dinner tonight. So it's 10 o'clock, well, it is now, yes, it's 11 past 10 here in Spain, even though it's only 4:10 in Maine and on the East Coast. And I don't mean to be a brat, but I'm wearing a dress and sandals today, and it was about 70 degrees, so
¿Qué pan vas a poner, Luis?
I just wanted to share that for everybody that's freezing in the snow.
The car is fine.
No, par de rebanadas. A ver, Laura. Here. We're gonna get a little bit of bread, settled bread from yesterday, to fry and mix with the garlic and the paprika and the cumin. So this is a type of bread that we call bollo, that has less water and is more dense than regular, what we call Vienna, no? The other type.
So what is the purpose of frying the bread?
Oh, we fry it so that, instead of using it raw, you just fry it a little bit and then it tastes better.
Oh, so
And
we're
then we're
gonna
gonna
eat
mix-
this fried bread?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mix with
It's
a
not-
mixer
Yeah,
and un momentito.
Un aire de sauce.
and make the sauce. So I know that looks like a lot of oil, but it is going to get drained off.
Yes.
We're sort of almost steaming the potatoes in the oil. They're not like crispy fried, they're just cooking in it.
¿Tiene un tenedor por aquí? ¿Me lo has quitado?
Sizzling away. And this is gonna all get mushed up, so
Yeah.
it's
So
not...
now we're gonna start frying the bread.
And if you don't like garlic, you probably shouldn't make this, but you could also use a little bit less garlic, probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and tell them that they don't have to use bread.
And you don't have to use bread if you are celiac, or you could use gluten-free bread, or,
Yeah, you can use onions instead of bread.
okay. So it acts as kind of a thickener?
Yeah. But it also gives taste. Actually, when you order tapa or a plate, they usually serve that with fried bread on top.
Oh, that's good. And it does smell good. Yes. Once again, we need smell-o-vision here at Now You're Cooking. Because all the onions and garlic and everything are just amazing.
No vienes a hacer nada.
I've never made the espinacas, so this is going to be really fun.
¿Eh?
Iba a hacerlas aquí
¿En dónde?
en la marrón, en la negra.
En la
¿Eso
grande.
estará allá o no?
¿En esa pequeña? ¿Sí?
No, en la grande no sé.
No entro.
Oh,
Perfecto.
perfect. Perfect?
Yeah.
¿Y la sal? Vamos a echarla. Ahora cuando...
No.
now,
Primero.
Bueno, hay que sacar eso.
Y esto también.
I'm just going to get out of the way here. And so Louise is gonna use an immersion blender, not getting too much of the oil, but mostly just the bread and the garlic in there, correct?
Deja
Yes.
algo de aceite, por favor.
Sí,
A
sí,
little
sí,
bit
viene
of
acá.
oil, but not
¿Has dejado algo de
too
aceite?
much.
Sí, es que voy a echar un poco de este aceite ahí.
Con la cuchara, Luis, mejor. Ay, vale, vale.
Y ahora vamos a sacar las patatas.
Bueno, vamos a terminar con...
Antes, espera un momento. Vamos a esperar un poco que se enfríe el aceite. ¿eh?
No, Luis, el aceite para el pimentón no tiene que estar muy caliente, pero...
Estoy dejando que se enfríe exactamente, bueno, porque el aceite viene de ahí.
No
No.
se va a enfriar encima del fuego, no lo entiendo.
Bueno, vamos a sacar las patatas primero.
Okay. Patas. And we're draining out a lot of the oil, as much oil as possible.
Yes.
Hay uno aquí.
¿Dónde está el...? ¿Qué?
Este
Este
pequeño
que fue.
que he comprado. ¿Dónde está? ¿Por qué
Este, ¿no?
No, pero bueno, está bien ese. Hay otro mediano más grande.
Bueno.
There we go. You have the right implement. And we're using cast iron because it is naturally non-stick. And you do want some good heat on it, so that's why we're not using a non-stick pan. And hopefully it'll work just fine. But it is heavy, and you can make smaller ones. You can make small tortillas. You don't have to make it this size. But I'm guessing that is a 10-inch. I think that's probably a 10-inch pan
Hay que
right there.
echarle sal.
Perfect. Okay. So our potatoes are done.
Ahora vamos a terminar el pimentón
So we're adding paprika.
y el, sí, paprika.
So this is smoked sweet paprika,
Yes,
Spanish, of course.
from La Vera. Really, we don't call it paprika, we call it pimentón.
Pimentón. But in English,
Yes, I know.
it's paprika. So there's about a tablespoon,
Anda.
2 tablespoons of paprika. Sweet,
oil.
smoked sweet paprika.
The oil should be not too hot because otherwise you burn the paprika and it bitters.
Okay, so just warm oil.
And how much oil would you say is in there?
I would say that is a quarter of a cup-ish. Eighth of a cup to a quarter of a cup. That's my guess. And we'll try to get this recipe written up at some
Coming.
point. So that's about a half a teaspoon or so of cumin. Is there any salt in there? There's no salt, right?
No, we'll add the salt to the...
At the end.
Esto es quema. A ver cómo lo hacemos. Vamos. No, muy mal. Pon esto aquí que no quema.
Vamos a poner un poco de caldo.
Vale, voy
¿dónde
a
está el
quitar
caldo
esto de
las
Luis. Mira,
nueces?
Luis.
¿Tú has quitado el caldo de las...?
Está ahí, Luis.
And
Pero
then
Luis,
we
echa
have,
pimentón. Ah.
this is we're gonna bring the
Spinach water.
spinach water over. Okay, so the oil's going in with the garlic and the bread.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna use an immersion blender to
Pues
mush
ahora echa un
that
poco
all
de
up
caldo aquí.
beautifully.
Sí, ya Luis. Ya.
Para rebañarlo.
Ah, no, ahí, Luis. Bueno, como quieras.
And that's probably a quarter to a half cup, probably about a quarter cup. And that's just making sure we get all of the spices out of the pan.
Exactamente.
Thank you, Louise. This is why I was your favorite student, because I'm so wicked smart.
And here we have the blender.
And the immersion blender, which if you do not have one, make sure that you immerse it before you turn it on. Or you'll end up with sauce all over the place and you'll burn yourself.
¿Y un poco más de caldo?
Un poquito así.
And you can thin that out with a little bit more water, hopefully without burning your wife. Oh, look at that, that looks good.
Las
Okay, so the spinach is going into the pan.
The garbanzo.
And
For the
then we
garbanzo
have-
beans, if you use them dry, you have to soak them in water for at least 12 hours.
Yeah.
If they're good.
Yeah,
If
and
they are
then
bad, then you have to be like 1 day. And then you have to steam them for 45 minutes or so.
okay, and we also get a lot of canned garbanzo beans, so we could probably use canned.
Yeah,
It
or
won't be as good.
I'd rather like the ones that are frozen.
Yeah, I don't know.
con
I
bote, ¿no? Acá.
don't know if we have frozen garbanzos.
Some special stores
Yeah.
might have it. I don't know. I've never seen them.
Ese que hemos hecho.
And is there a little bit of oil in there from the potatoes?
There was a little bit, and then
And then the sauce goes in.
you add the sauce.
That looks so good. And that's, again, that is bread and onion, pimento, paprika, and a little bit of cumin. And we're adding a little bit more water just to make sure we get all of the goodness out of there.
And the salt.
And we need to add salt.
Esto se ha apagado, así que lo vamos a encender.
And is that just gonna saute for, like, just cook for a little
Yes.
while while we finish our
A ver,
tortilla?
no. ¿Lo has bloqueado?
¿Yo?
No sé.
Ya no lo he bloqueado.
Ahora no sabemos desbloquearlo.
Sí.
We have backseat cooks here, backseat cooking. This is an induction stove, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know induction.
Oye,
And they're awesome because you can't
¿Cómo no las has partido?
you can't heat up the burner unless there's a pan on it. So it's really hard to really burn yourself.
Ahora mientras hacemos la tortilla, allí te vamos a hacer eso. ¿Dónde vas a mezclar los huevos?
And we're adding
¿Mm?
a pinch of salt.
Big pinch.
Ah,
It's
yo
a
can-
big pinch of
well,
salt. It's maybe a half a teaspoon, quarter of a teaspoon, half a teaspoon. And do that to taste.
Yeah, tasting.
Yeah, taste it and see how you like it. If you don't like it salty, don't add too much salt or don't add any salt.
Ay, no, es que no sé cómo vas a partir esto. Con una tijera.
Okay.
Vamos a poner, primero vamos a limpiar un poquito la sartén para poner como de tiempo.
Oh, we have as much time as you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, so
I mean,
we
people might get bored and turn
no,
us
just
off,
because
Louise,
I want
but
to put the red peppers here for the tortilla, and
yeah,
then we're gonna make
let's
the
do
tortilla.
it. Let's do it. Okay, so
So-
we're gonna do some red peppers and then we're gonna get to the
Yeah, just let the red peppers here.
Tortilla.
¿Por qué no partes los pimentitos aquí? Que te grabé esta mientras yo tratando de
Vale.
solucionar eso.
I'm gonna have another olive.
Madre mía.
These are red bell peppers, and they're roasted and have garlic.
What should we be drinking with this, Luis?
Oh,
Cerveza, beer, wine,
maybe a sherry while we're cooking, and then some red wine.
a fino, a dry
Yeah.
sherry, and then maybe some red wine like a Rioja,
Yeah.
Garnacha, Tempranillo, any of the above.
Yeah, Sure, I mean garnacha or tempranillo will be fine.
And these are just jarred, by the way, jarred
Yeah, they're roasted,
Roasted.
and jarred
have-
with garlic.
garlic in them.
One thing, the oil that we have used for the to fry the potatoes and the onions is really good, and you can use it for a stew later because
Okay,
it's not
so-
burned, so it's and it has the taste, and it's really good to add to other things.
So don't throw
Um,
anything away. So Monse is just cutting up the spinach
Yeah, because
with a pair of
because
scissors
we forgot to.
because we forgot to cut it before.
Yeah.
We are again, once again, now your cooking brings you professional chefs.
Yeah.
So you do want to cut up your espinacas, your spinach, before,
Yeah.
after you steam
Mix,
it, before you put it in, or if you use frozen spinach, that'll work. That'll be just
Yeah.
fine.
A ver, ¿cuántos huevos ponemos? ¿4? ¿Once?
No.
5 huevos.
Por lo menos
Aquí
medio.
ahora no, o pongo en otro lado.
So we're discussing how
Ahí
many
está bien.
eggs we should be using
¿Y
here.
las patatas?
There were there were 4 potatoes, medium. So at least at least 1 egg for potato.
We used 3 potatoes.
4 potatoes.
We
medium,
used all 4?
medium size.
Okay.
So at least 1 egg for potato. If you
Okay.
like the tortilla juicy, I would say 2 eggs for potatoes.
Okay. So 4 potatoes should be anywhere from 4 to 8 eggs. And it looks like we're using 5
5 or
eggs.
6.
Yo ponía 6.
Here, look, I can help.
Great.
Now,
You're a good student.
thank you, I know. Do you want one more
The
egg?
other one, yes, please.
Right. I'm cooking. Now I'm cooking. So those are our eggs, and we're gonna beat those. Do you put anything else in with the egg? Any water, milk, anything?
No.
Just egg.
Y sal.
And salt. Okay, that was a good sized pinch of salt. Again, more or less salt, depending on your
Yeah,
dietary
depending on-
needs and your taste. And potatoes go right into the egg. Ooh.
A ver.
The exciting thing is we're getting ever closer to flipping the tortilla, which is the most exciting part. And Luis just showed us a video of somebody flipping, like hand flipping by flipping the pan, a 57 egg tortilla. We're not doing that tonight.
Don't do this at home.
Do not do that at home. You can do this at home. You can do this one at home, but not 57
¿Por
eggs.
qué no es porque no tenemos la cazuelita mediana, ¿no?
¿Qué cazuelita no
¿Eh?
No sé lo que ha pasado, que no está.
Pues se rompió o se...
Okay, so we are putting some of
A little bit
the,
of the oil.
the reserved oil from the potatoes. That's about a tablespoon or so,
Just to cover the...
tablespoon and a half, maybe. Yeah, about a tablespoon-ish. It's very scientific.
This is for the
Peppers.
pimientos.
Okay.
Yeah, for peppers.
Okay, so we're gonna just, a little bit of oil. This is for the peppers. And these are to go on top.
Yes.
This is a decoration. This is not absolutely necessary, but you'll see it will be absolutely beautiful.
Also, sometimes we put green peppers into the tortilla, but that's something optional if you like it.
Fresh ones.
Yeah.
And you put them in when you put the onions in?
Yeah. Because as the onions, they cook faster than the potatoes, so
Right.
it's...
Beautiful.
Enséñale. ¿Has hecho
Sí.
la sal?
Sí.
¿Has probado si estaba bien?
No, yo no lo pruebo porque...
Todo está bien. Okay, here we go, folks. Very exciting. So you want to coat your pan with your oil.
Now, is this on high, medium high?
I would say that is a medium high right there. It's a 7 out of 10, I think.
Okay.
Okay, this is the exciting part. Okay, we just went
You
up
don't want to
to,
burn it,
but you want
need
to cook
some,
it.
Yes.
Yeah, so we just went up to about high, just under high. So it's a 9 out of 10 on the heat there. Is this one on? How is the espinacas, Monse? How is the espinacas? It looks really good.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Yep, you want to boil it?
Yeah, in a soft way.
Yeah, just gently
For
simmer.
10, 15 minutes.
Because
To
you
mix
want,
the flavors,
yep,
the spinach, the sauce, the garbanzos.
nice. Okay. Is this one on?
This is fine.
Okay. It's just on a,
It's
that's
just-
on a
we just
medium,
need it
it's
to
just
be
warming up.
Warm, yeah.
Okay, we're not frying those. So the
They are
spinach,
cooked already, so.
right. The spinach is just simmering away to, as Monse said, to mix the flavors, maybe thicken it just a little tiny bit. And the potatoes are just cooking, the potato and the egg. And Louisa is gonna taste it and tell us how it is. How is it?
Great.
Wonderful. Gorgeous.
Perfecto.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. Luis, me parece que se está pegando.
¿Tú crees, no?
Es que lo has echado muy rápido.
No sé.
Te has precipitado.
Pues sale por los lados. Voy a ir poniendo pan
Ya
con
lo he
tomate.
hecho, Luis.
Okay, I think we're finding that Monse is the real cook here, right?
Yeah.
Es que
Yeah,
se pone...
Monse
I'm a
is
pinche.
Ya, sí, pero el pinche que se ha lanzado.
Monse is the chef
Ah,
and Luis is the sous chef.
Luis,
So we're just
es
making
que
sure it's not
teníamos-
sticking,
we have-
letting some of the liquid down to cook. Because this has to be fairly solid, so
Es que se está pegando ahí.
just kind of letting the egg come down through the potatoes to cook a little bit
Too
more.
hot?
No, I don't think so.
¿Te está pegando?
Claro, pero si es que...
Because you
Pero
need,
por
in
el
order to
centro.
in order to flip it, you need the eggs to be pretty solid.
A ver. Que estaba bien, ¿eh? Iba todo
But you want to be
perfecto.
patient with it and not burn it. So we just went down on the heat to maybe a medium low.
Aunque se puede dar la vuelta, espera que se caliente
¿Le damos la vuelta ya?
el aceite. Voy a ponerle un poquito mientras... Mira,
This. what
We
is
have
that?
a giratrites, que es una it's a Catalan thing that someone in Catalonia a few years ago created this special type of plate with a handle that helps flip the tortilla.
We're getting ready to go for it, folks.
bien.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous.
Voy a poner un poquito de...
Aceite.
A little, we're gonna put a little bit more oil in the pan
Yes, just a little bit more. Okay?
from the same leftover oil we had,
Yeah.
just to make sure.
Ahí.
And that's maybe a tablespoon, maybe not quite a tablespoon of oil, just to,
Ok, perfecto.
get the pan nice and
Ahora sí.
oily and hot.
Ahora está calientito.
Okay. And then
Con mucho cuidado.
our sous chef will slide that
El pinche, el pinche.
gently. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. And then do we serve it on that? Or do you have a plate?
We could, yeah.
Okay, Chef Monse is watching that. We're also going to make some pan con tomate, which is a Catalan, northeastern Spain, Barcelona area dish. And it's really nice served with the tortilla. When I was a student in Barcelona, which I was in high school, I was here in Seville in college, we would have lunch out in the middle of our school day. And so a lot of times we would go get a tortilla sandwich, and it would be on pan con tomate with a slab of the tortilla on it. And you're just going to take a nice ripe tomato.
Yeah, in Catalonia they have a special type, it's little ones, red and round, and they work very well. And obviously in the winter,
They're not as good.
They're not as good.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We can.
It'll still taste good. Can I
Yeah.
do one?
Yeah, sure.
Look at that technique. So you just want to, you're kind of like buttering the bread with
Yeah.
tomato juice, tomato innards. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And then you can
And-
put a little bit of salt on it, or however you want to do it
Yeah.
if you're just having it
Yo
like
creo que
that.
la tortilla.
Oh, oil. Always
oil.
oil. Lots of olive oil. So we'll just drizzle olive oil.
Sal.
Look, they're letting me
No,
cook.
sí, okay.
Muévela, muévela.
Está perfecto.
Little olive oil, and then we might put a little sprinkle of salt on there as
Me
well.
doy la vuelta.
Okay.
All right, what's happening? Oh, that is beautiful.
Muy bien.
Then now we put the. ¿Dónde está el tenedorcito?
A fork.
Lo pones.
Luis, that's beautiful. You're a very good pinchon.
Pinche.
Pinche.
Soy un pinche.
I saved the tortilla.
You're a very good pinche.
I always was a pinche. Monse started teaching cooking in '84 when you were a student.
When I was a student,
So
I
I was-
learned to cook some things with Monse.
And I was a pinche.
And
always.
he was, so the pinche is just an assistant or a helper. But I still have some recipes from Monse's cooking
It's like
class. That is
No,
just,
pero no vamos a ponerlo ahí, ¿ya?
No la vamos a poner ahí.
okay.
Okay.
What are we doing with the espinacas?
Bueno, we just serve them now.
It's already done, eh?
Okay. So we're gonna put this on the table and we're gonna have a little glass of manzanilla or something. And we have our pan con tomate, and we have olives, and we have our tortilla, and we're gonna have some. Monse's just trying the espinacas again. Is it good? Is it ready?
Good.
Good.
Great.
And Luis just disappeared, trying maybe to get some wine or something. I'm not sure. So.
Luis
As-
disappear.
So as you can see, Monse and I have made a beautiful dinner for ourselves tonight with the help of our pinche. We've got some olives, we've got some pan con tomate, we'll put the espinacas in addition, we'll eat that with the bread probably. We've got our gorgeous tortilla, that's so beautiful with the pimientos. Luis?
Luis.
Did you leave it? Luis is coming. Luis is coming. Be patient. Oh, manzanilla.
En rama means that it's not being filtered or bottled. So we have
So this is sherry.
sherry from Sanlúcar de Barrameda,
from Sanlúcar. And this is a manzanilla, right? Which is
Yep.
this is a fino, which is a dry, it's got a really nice light taste. We sell, we have manzanilla at the store. We've got a lot of sherries. And we are going to Jerez de la Frontera on Saturday.
Yes.
And we'll try to make a video, probably not a live video, but we'll make a video and we'll talk about the different sherries. And this looks awesome and I'm ready to eat. Are you?
Yes.
Yes. Cheers. Salud. Chin chin. Thanks everybody.